Hi guys and welcome to a new video from your favorite blobfish. So today we are looking some insanely cringy TikTokers again. Like TikTok just keeps on giving us the cringe. To the point that you are better off right now pulling your eyes out of your socket because man, this shit is hard to watch. We have all already seen these dumb ass people who are so sensitive. They find everything offensive in the world. Because for some reason they feel the need to be mad about everything in the world. Because they have either nothing better to do or they just like the attention they're getting from being offended. These so-called social justice warriors say they make the internet a better place, but their idiotic opinions definitely make it a worse place, to the point that everyone is just losing brain cells left and right on the internet from the bullshit that is coming out of their mouths. This girl in question made a whole ass video series called Why You Are Fatphobic, and it isn't even a trilogy anymore. This mentally challenged girl decided to make 5 parts of this bullshit. So I thought it was a good idea to make a video about it and tell you guys about how this girl is wrong in everything she's saying. But before we do, I would like to ask you all to leave a like on the video and drop a sub with all notifications on to stay up to date with all the cringe on the internet. And now, without further ado, let's watch this dumb ass woman argue why I and everyone watching is fatphobic.
I'm not fatphobic. I don't hate fat people. I just personally don't want to be fat.
To be honest, it isn't even something I personally don't want. I literally don't know why anyone wants to be fat. It's literally unhealthy and you will die earlier. Like, I want to live, please. And you probably will come up with some bullshit excuse right now, but you are wrong. I can already tell you that. Whatever you're going to say, you are wrong. And why the fuck are you even complaining, girl? You're not even fat yourself. What the fuck are you crying about?
Don't hate fat people. I just personally don't want to be fat. Preferences are valid, but they don't come out of nowhere. What makes you want to avoid fatness so bad? You're kidding, right? Everyone knows fat's unhealthy. They get diseases like type 2 diabetes and then die at the age of like 35. Actually, previous research failed to account for lifestyle type. Research now suggests that it's not the actual fat on your body that determines your risk for disease. It's actually the habits that you engage in on a day-to-day basis.
I agree, it are habits of people. People being lazy fucks and just shoving food left and right into their mouth, like some Doritos in the right hand, while shoving an extra fat piece of pizza with extra cheese in your mouth with the other hand, watering it all down with some good old Mountain Dew. That is how you become fat, in combination with not moving your ass off your bed. And now of course, there are some people with some kind of disease, but those are exceptions. Most fat people are just fat because of their own dumb lifestyle choices. No question about it.
That doesn't make sense. If fat people had healthy lifestyles, they wouldn't be fat. That would be true if we actually had control over the size of our body, but research suggests that we actually don't. And when we try to intervene and change our body size through dieting, we increase our risk for physiological disease and psychological disorders.
You're literally not making sense at all, woman. Some people get fat quicker, yes. But in the end, you control your body size. People are literally just making things up right now, just to get fat people some excuses why they don't need to exercise. While being fat, they did it all to themselves. And they should try to get healthier, no question about it.
Whatever happened to my body, my choice? I just personally like the aesthetic of lean better. And no one wants to be fat. Even fat people don't want to be fat. And why do you think that is?
Because it looks like shit. It's quite simple. Next to that, it's harder to do daily activities. When on vacation, I like hiking through nature. But guess what I'm unable to do when I shove my face with food the entire year? Exactly. I can't walk properly anymore. I need to take a deep breath after every step I set on the floor. Like fuck off. Being fat sucks. That's it. No more bullshit excuses. It just sucks. That's why people don't want to be fat. It's unhealthy, you can't do everything you want, and you just look ridiculously ugly.
Beauty standard, would you still want to be thin? What's wrong with wanting to fit a beauty standard? You're wearing makeup. Anybody can wear makeup, regardless of who you are, your political ideology, your sexual orientation, your gender. Anyone can choose whether or not they want to wear makeup. But when we create a standard of beauty that is dependent on factors out of our control, that is oppressive.
No, it's not. Like 99.9% of the people can do something about not being fat. The 0.01% of people that do not, yes, that's sad for them. But as a society, we can't constantly change ourselves for such a low amount of people. We need to move on with our lives and say to everyone, being fat isn't healthy. Please get more healthy, people.
Oppressed? Anyone can be lean if they put in the work. I'm willing to put in the work. Why should I be punished? Because we don't get to choose thinness the same way we choose to wear makeup. When we engage in dieting activities to change the way our body looks, we increase our risk for diseases and psychological disorders. And if we don't choose thinness, we're subject to oppression.
You literally already said that. You probably started dieting yourself, as you sound like you have some psychological issues yourself. Man, I'm really done with humanity at this point. At this point, there's just no hope left for the future. How can someone make 5 whole ass videos about everyone being fatphobic? It's literally one of the worst takes I've ever heard. And that is saying a lot, because we've heard a lot of bullshit already on this channel.
How are fat people oppressed? Pause to read. Okay, and if all that's true, I'm just avoiding that kind of treatment. What's wrong with that?
Okay, let's go back to the section where she said we should pause. First of the list, discrimination when seeking medical care. Fat people are harder to have an operation on, and they're at a higher risk of dying when under operation. That's already a bullshit point. Harder time to find work and paid less than thin people. Fat people should have a harder time at finding work because many jobs can be physical. So they already have loads of stuff less to choose from than thin people. That's just how it works. And to be honest, you're just bullshitting now with these points on your list. Difficult to find clothing that fits? They can go to a curtain store and go nuts. Everything will fit.
Okay, and if fat people are actually oppressed, then what's wrong with wanting to avoid that? Obviously, no one would want that sort of treatment. Because you are actively supporting a beauty standard that marginalizes an entire group of people for things that are out of their control, and therefore supporting the idea that fat is bad.
Okay, let me stop you right there. We are in part 3 of your stupid video series, and I must say, I'm done with it. It was fun making fun of you for some time, but I'm pretty much done with it now. Fat is bad is a thing I'm going to take from her words, as that's the only logical thing that came out of this woman's mouth. I know it's out of context, but I'll take it. I literally think that her brain doesn't work like it's supposed to do, because everything she said was just pure and utter garbage, making me want to end it all. So I'm going to skip part 4 and 5 and say goodbye to this crazy ass woman, whose IQ is probably as high as your average mentally challenged snail. And with that said, if you've enjoyed this video, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification. Blobfish out.